I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's webcast. I want to talk to you for a little bit about the transliterated New Testament. This New Testament is not only in Greek, but it also is in Hebrew. So if you've ever wanted to hear or to read the New Testament in Hebrew, here it is. It's all there. Sells in the bookstores for $59.95. We can make it available to you for $49.95. And the best part about it is I have Danny Ben-Gigi with us. Gary Stearman is here. He's the man who put all this together. And Gary, introduce him and have the first question.
Be glad to, J.R. Danny Ben-Gigi, of course, professor. He has been in charge of Hebrew studies at Arizona State University, a scholarly man with a background, speaks, of course, fluent Hebrew, and is now bringing that knowledge to Bible readers everywhere. Now, we're talking about the New Testament in Hebrew, of all things, and probably someone first hearing that would say, why do that? Why would you bring the New Testament in Hebrew? Wasn't it written in Greek?
It was. These are the books that are found, are written in Greek. But if you ask any Greek scholar about the quality of the Greek, not the spiritual, very spiritually blessed, but about the Greek, they will tell you that the level of the Greek is not exactly as Greek should be. Why is that? The ideas there are very Hebraic. Mm-hmm. It was written by Hebraic people, obviously, and there is a need for both the Greek and the Hebrew. The idea of this project was to make the Greek language available for people to say when they're reading it in English letters. That's the transliteration. Greek words spelled out with English letters.
Now,
same as Hebrew.
With this computer program, you can also hear the sound of Hebrew, and it's particularly interesting to me to think of Jesus talking or Peter talking. These people spoke this language. This was their native tongue.
They did, and it was not only that, but it was also the intimate tongue. I read, to my surprise, in the book of Acts, that Paul is speaking on his way to Damascus, that he sees a strong light shining from heaven, and he reports, we all fell with our faces to the ground, and I hear a voice speaking to me in the Hebrew tongue, and they ask him, why do you persecute me? Mm-hmm. Why is this persecution? In the Hebrew tongue. He could have asked him in Aramaic or in Greek that was prevalent in the land, but he asked him that in the Hebrew tongue. There is intimacy in the Hebrew throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament alike. When the Sermon on the Mount was given, it was not given in Greek or in Aramaic. It sounds so much like Psalms. Yes. Ashrei ha'ish. How do you say it in English? Blessed, happy is the person who. The whole thing was Hebraic. So we have it here. We have 17 chapters called the Great Chapters of the New Testament, narrated in Hebrew by a person from the Galilee, a Messianic rabbi from the Galilee, that sounded exactly like it sounded there in the ancient time. And he narrates those chapters in Hebrew. So people, even if they don't understand it, close your eyes and use it for meditation. Yeah. This is a very meditative part of this. On top of the product that has 7,000 pages of the Bible.
7,000 pages. Now I want to show you Matthew chapter 1 here. By the way, Matthew wrote his gospel originally in Hebrew. So basically, Dr. Ben-Gigi has revived the ancient Hebrew here. We have Matthew chapter 1. You can see the Hebrew lettering there, and in the black, and then in the red, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. That's the English translation. But then we have the transliteration, Zi Sefer Toldot HaMashiach Yeshua ben David ben Abraham. Mm-hmm. So here we have the ability to read it in the transliterated. So you're reading Hebrew, but you're looking at English letters. Fascinating.
Exactly. And people say, well, I wish I could do it. Well, here you can do it. Certain times people come, there is a verse that is on their heart for a week, a month, and sometimes a year. and they call and they ask people, can you help me? I want to say it in the way it was said. It's available to everybody. It's written right there. They can just see it and read it in English letters. Any area of the New Testament that is close to their hearts, to your hearts and your heart, anybody.
Wow. Well, you've simply got to avail yourself of this great learning aid. It's a study aid, but more than that, it'll bring the poetry, if you will, the soul of the Bible right into your home in a way that it's never been there before. And talking with you for a while, I understand that that's really what motivates you, the heart and soul of the Bible.
I love the Bible. This is my love since I was born and raised in Israel. So we grew up with the Bible for the first moment. I start speaking Hebrew, and the first words were biblical. We just live the continuation of the time. And I know I've been teaching here in the U.S., and I can see many people love the Bible, but they're afraid of the Hebrew. And I thought it would be a mission to make it simple like it is for me, but for me it's a mother tongue. For other people it's not mother tongue. So I've been thinking for at least 10, 15 years how to make it as close to be a mother tongue for people that it's not originally their mother tongue. But I do believe that people that have Bible in their hearts, they already have Hebrew in their hearts. So it just need to be, it's a process of reintroducing themselves to Hebrew rather than relearning it from scratch.
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that not only can you read the New Testament in Hebrew, but you can also get it in Greek. So I've pulled up the Greek translation here, and just a side note here. Notice, please, it says, work inspired by J.R. Church, Prophecy in the News, Oklahoma.
And it was indeed inspired.
You didn't have to do that, but he did it anyway, because tell us how that came about.
It was simple. Right here in this very table, about a year ago, or less than that, we were here, and I introduced the Old Testament Hebrew.
Yes.
And J.R. Church, Pastor J.R. Church asked me a very simple question. Why not having this advantage to other people in the form of the New Testament? And I touched my hair and I said, really, why not? That's what needs to be done. And I went back to Israel and asked the engineers there, it is too complex for me to make it, if they can help us and do it in the New Testament in order to enable Americans and people of English speakers with the same benefit of the Old Testament for the New Testament. And they say, absolutely, gladly we'll do that. And that's the project inspired by you, J.R. Church. Thank you.
Listen, I want you to get this. This sells in bookstores for $59.95. You can get it from us for $49.95. And I want you to see here the same chapter, Matthew, that you saw a few moments ago in Hebrew. Here you can see it in Greek. So the first line there in black, you can see the Greek lettering. And down here in red, the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, son of Abraham. That's the English translation. And in the blue there is the transliteration from the Greek. So you can read Biblos and so on. You can actually
Yeshua,
read it. Yeah, go ahead, read it there.
Oh, it's Greek. So I don't speak Greek, but I can read it.
You don't speak Greek,
Yeah,
okay.
but it's Biblos, Genesis, Yeshua, Christo, Weo David, that's David, Weo Abraham.
See, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And he doesn't speak Greek.
No, I don't.
But he could read it.
Well, the
because it's
transliteration.
the English transliteration. And in addition to that, of course, there are 17 chapters that you've had recorded from the Hebrew, and it's beautiful, including the Sermon on the Mount.
Yes,
So,
definitely. And
I want you to get it. I want you to get it. Danny, thanks for putting this out. I appreciate it. So you can get both of them. This one, the Old Testament, for $49.95, sells in bookstores for $89.99. You can get this one, sells in bookstores for $59.99. You can get it from us for $49.95. Both of them, $98.90. Call the phone number at the bottom of your screen, 1-800-475-1111. I hope you will get it. Gary, last word?
Well, JR, I simply have to emphasize again, and I want to thank Dr. Ben Gigi very much. I just have to emphasize that if you want to experience the Bible at a deeper level, this is the way to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for hosting me and letting me talk about the project.
Our pleasure. Been a fun time. Have really enjoyed it. And we also did our television broadcast, and it'll be on in, well, I don't know, a couple of weeks, something like that. So, thanks for watching today. I'm J.R. Church with our guest, Gary Stearman, of course, our associate, and Dr. Danny Ben Gigi from Israel originally, now living in Arizona. Is that right?
Yes.
Poor fella living out there in Arizona.
It's forgivable.
So sorry for you. That's a lot like the Promised Land, isn't it? Yes.
Well, it looks alike. Yes.
Looks a lot like the Promised Land. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, keep looking up.